of course, a very basic thing that we need: mentorship and guidance. As far my understanding goes, like as an individual Indian investor, when I also invest, I don't only invest money, rather I go with the market. Would love to understand that perspective from Farooq when we look at Africa as a destination. We are doing a lot of stuff with the Middle East. For the African startups, when they pitch, when they want to raise capital, what is the main gap that you see in them? A. B. What is the importance of mentoring for the African startups?
Well, for African startups, I think is a fairly new ecosystem, and they are grappling with the idea of trying to understand the space, trying to understand the space, and catch up with how the world is moving towards the venture capital space. What I've observed about African startup is that we have a very dynamic territory. There's lack of jobs. So once a young African gets onto the media space and picks up a narrative that this startup has raised $2 million, $3 million, you find the excitement to quickly also start, and it's creating a lot of unguided excitement and direction. Like Mustafa said, you might be moving fast in the wrong direction. So yes, we want to get them to be able to manage their excitement, let them understand that it takes quite a lot to be a startup, to prepare yourself, to understand that there are certain metrics that you need to take, some boxes that need to take before you even go out there to go and pitch. The excitement to go and pitch is there, it's very profound. Every now and then I have a massive avalanche of young people trying to find a way for me to create pitching opportunities for them. But we say, look, take your time, hone the idea, build some level of traction, get investors, point some, traction towards investors, lens, so that that confidence is built. This is where mentorship comes in very strongly. When you really look at what we do at the Holt Prize, we're able to get the young people. People will come with overly exciting ideas. After you interrogate the ideas, they realize that they are just playing around. So we want them to subject themselves to mentorship. The mentorship should not be in scenarios where it could even be structured. It could be from the basic level where the idea is being honed before it goes to market, in terms of going anywhere to go and push the idea. So it's time bound, it's discipline bound, it's also about doing a lot of deep searching and researching into particular areas that you're going into before you go out to go. Otherwise, it becomes an exercise in futility. It's just a waste of everybody's time.
Up into a complete different range of questions. We have seen that there is a concept in the market. If you have a great pitch deck, you will get money. If you have an amazing projection of next 3 years, you will secure money. What's your take?
One word: garbage. Because the reality is, at least I can only talk about my process, not about other VCs. It starts with what is the problem that you're trying to solve and how big is the problem. Based on the bandwidth of how big the problem is, the remuneration is going to be, accordingly. So the reality is that just because you want to become a startup founder, create a problem and think that you're going to get funded, that's not the case. I personally feel. Pitch deck is a representation of your business model in a snapshot that helps an investor on a high level understand what you're trying to do. But probably my colleague Naresh will resonate with me because we both sit in a lot of pitches every week. I think it's the concept of the entrepreneur, how the clarity of the thought, the problem statement, as well as his or her subject matter expertise, either individually or the core team, that's going to be at work to solve that problem. And unless all these ducks are in a row, good luck getting funded.
Join hands together, grow together. And eventually in the process, probably you can fund. What is your perspective when you get a company applying to your family office? asking for money or asking for growth, what are the key factors that you watch? Do you echo Amit or do you have some different other ones?
No, whatever Amit said is also important. How big is the problem that is going to address is something important. But as I represent one of the family offices, our first priority is to look at projects that is going to add value to this country. That is our first priority. So we look at those kind of projects. UAE being a global market, we are getting projects for different parts of the world. But as I see, the current generation who have brilliant ideas, but the only problem that they are facing is they are not able to present it properly. They are not able to. For example, suppose we are sitting at a meeting. The kind of the way they think is not adequate enough for the investors to get convinced that yes, this is something which I should vouch for. That is where they lack. That's what I personally see. I've tried to many such occasions. That is where I feel that there is a need for a mentorship. See, this younger generation who has the ideas, if they can be mentored in a way that how they fit that with the investors. Right? For example, an investor he expects the person to tell him in brief in about 3 to 4 minutes what the project is all about, what the return of investment and what the investment is. You can see many cases where after he explains everything, the investor asks him, what are you looking for? So it gives a wrong impression. That is where I think we need to play a major role, especially people like us who have gone through a